Paul, always have to do this, don't we? Start with the injury situation. Got worse on Tuesday night. Have you ever known a situation as bad as this to start a season?
No, I've never had anything like this happen to me before. Normally 10% of your staff, or maybe 2 or 3 more than that, but to be up at 9 and 10 is incredible. You know, it isn't any training. Very few of them have been injured in training. It's either, you know, it's been match injuries. You know, Laird walks off one of the games with a hamstring pull. You know, the 2 fractures, you know, in game-like situations. You know, at the end of the day, it's been very scary.
Yeah, and now you have a long wait, I suppose, with the window shut. You have to wait for the loan window before you can bring in any real meaningful reinforcements.
Josh will know today whether he's going to be available for the weekend, Josh Wakefield, and we've got a wee bit of flu in the camp, which would probably do me in if it gets any worse.
Yeah. How many players do you think? How many players are affected by the flu bug?
There's 2 unwell at this minute in time. One trained and one didn't. The one at train came out halfway through. So fingers crossed that we get well in time.
Yeah. Is there a case then that you may have to look at your youth team and bring in some youngsters to fill the bench or something?
Yes, sometimes that's a negative scenario. Sometimes it could be too much for a player if you use them, and it's a step backwards instead of a step forward. But if it needs must.
Yeah, and boosted by the win, the JPT win over Barnet. That's always good, isn't it? To go into your next game, return to the league on the back of a win against a
a win was important, you know, because obviously the disappointment of Oxford wasn't a great game. It was a dirty win and no goals against. That's probably the major thing to take out of the game.
Yeah. I mean, you look at that with regards to the defensive record. That can be perhaps something you can use as a catalyst moving forward. That first game.
Well, the catalyst is that we're playing probably the strongest team I've seen. I've watched them about 3 times over the last couple of days. Morecambe got some quality players and a big strong side. You know, they've just come off 9 goals in 3 games, so it's a stern test again. But I'm hoping, as I said, you know, we're starting to get to grips with what we're looking for. If we can just bite and scratch until everybody gets back in the competition for places, which I think will be a benefit in kind.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Morecambe there. Do you look at them too much at this stage of the season? Is it too early to start thinking about form and all that sort of thing?
Well, you know, the form is they went to Portsmouth and went 3-0 up, drew 3-3, probably one of the top teams tipped to win the league. They've taken Notts County, I think, was 4-1. And Walsall, who have an excellent side and doing very well in the league this year, 2-0. You know, it doesn't help my ass, but you know, I think the important thing for us, we're at home. If you looked at Luton and you know, maybe said to yourself, well, you know, all the new signings and everything else, we got a result there. And the boys, as I said to you, got nothing to lose. We just got to go out there and give 100% like we gave in the Barnet game, and hope, you know, that things work out.
Yeah. Would you expect them then, Morecambe, to come here and throw everything at you?
I would. I'm saying, I think he would. I'm saying, you know, the boy's done very well there. You know, what he's done is he's made them a solid Division 2 team and built on that. You know, now they've got some Devitt, you know, is an exciting player. Ellison's going to be back on Saturday. You know, they've got some good players in amongst the backbone of seasoned Division 2 players. So they've added over the last 2 or 3 seasons. Now, I'm not saying they're not unbeatable. You understand? What I'm saying to you is that it's going to be a stiff task and something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and the fans, the message to them is just be patient, because when you do get that, eventually, touch wood, it's not too far to wait. When you do get a healthy squad back again, there's a good chance you're going to kick on and show them what you obviously wanted to install here.
Well, the backbone will come back in then. You know, that's the important thing. It still doesn't win you football games. You know, at the end of the day, you've got to merit that, and their performances will have to merit that. But in the end, I think the important thing for us is to get healthy and give us an opportunity to select the team maybe that I would like to put out week by week. I haven't been able to do that. The boy Siobhan come up and given us food for thought, for a centre half to go up front. He's a young boy, and he showed a maturity I didn't expect from him. I was pleased with his performance in midweek. Never let himself down. And as I said, it's something to build on.
Yeah. Do you see him then potentially as somebody that you could use as a forward and moving forward as well?
Well, it all depends. And saying obviously, when everybody's back fit again, and then the windows comes round in the Christmas time, you never know how we're going to restructure. But at this minute in time, I think he showed potential the other day as a centre forward. That's all I'm really going to say about him. But I'm looking forward to working with him. I am going to try and shape him as a striker, see how far along the road he can go.
Yeah, potential's there.
Yeah, the potential's definitely there. He's big. He's won his share there a night there against two decent centre halves in the air. He's quick, deceptively quick for a big boy. And he's got a decent touch as well, and he wants to play. That's the one thing. He's got a passion to play. So I'm going to let him loose, see how he does.
Good luck, Paul. Thank you for your time.
Cheers.
With the limited options, Paul, will you be looking to try and extend the loans of the 1 month loan deals you've got with the 3 players at the moment?
Well, the thing about it is I think we can change that pretty quickly. I don't think we've got anybody coming up seriously. I think we've got 2 weeks for most of them, have we?
Must be a bit shorter for Roberts and Corning than it is for Wakefield.
Yeah, I think I would say we'll get something done from there. I think Harry's been hot and cold, but I think he's done well since he's come along. For an experienced player of playing in this kind of standard, I think Connor's done well as well. So I'm quite pleased to try and sort something out there.
And will loans be something you're looking at, in the future as well? I know you've already got 4 in the squad, but is it a way to bolster the squad without having to spend too much money?
Well, we've got 1 more. So if that's bolstering, yes.
I suppose the thing you're lacking there at the moment is experience, and you're unlikely to get that with loans.
Well, the biggest problem is knowing where to take the loan for. In the long term, taking a loan for midfield, and then all the midfield players come back. Do I bring a centre forward in, or do I bring a defender in? There's a lot of ifs, buts and maybes. I would like to get through this weekend unscathed injury-wise, and hopefully with a result under our belts, which would be a great benefit in kind. We've had 2 defeats and 2 wins in 6 games, is it? 6 or 7 games?
7, yeah.
7. I'd like to think that we've had 2 wins in the last 3. I think that looks more positive.
And if Wakefield isn't fit for Saturday, I suppose midfield is again going to be the problem area. Have you got some ideas for there?
No. I've got Gibbon and I've got Matty. It simplifies things, doesn't it? It makes reporting much easier. Because at the end of the day, you boys can near enough pick the team.
Because I know Swansea had tried Connor Roberts out in that position before for the under-21s. I wondered if that was anything you were thinking of.
Well, who's going to play right back then?
Gibbons.
Dino would be better midfield. I thought he did okay the other day in midfield.
I agree, actually.
As I said to you, the good thing the bonus of this minute in time, it's very easy to pick a team at this minute. Because we've got short at certain positions, it means that basically who's fit, who's going to play. That's not taking anything away. I thought Gibbons did a comfortable job in the midfield as well. This is a sterner task, I believe, due to the form that they've run into Morecambe on Saturday. But in the end, I think the important thing for us is to bite and scratch until we get everybody back again, and then we can regroup. Picking up a point here, 3 points there, that kind of scenario, and get ourselves, competitive when everybody's available again. I think the boost we'll have when we have all these players back, and the opportunity to mould the team properly, will be a benefit in kind, and I think it'll help the younger players who have probably been pressurised into games and and lost confidence due to obviously performance and results.
And just one final one, is Jakob going to be okay to play? We're not sure
Well,
yet.
we're still another one. He had his MRI scan yesterday. There's anything else apart from the small break he's got. So we've got a specialist is deciding this afternoon whether changing the cast would allow him to play. So, but we just had a clean sheet. At the end of the day, it's one of those kinds of scenarios.